Straight to the point. I'm upgrading my C tier skin, Jester, into an A tier skin. No, not that Jester, this one. Now, while I'm plotting up my ideas, let's talk about this outfit and outfit tiers. If you do not care about this stuff, jump ahead to this timestamp. I'll see you there for the design process. Okay, now let's move on to how the tiers are separated. A C tier costume is the lowest tier in the game. They don't change the looks or the clothes of the character at all and are essentially just recolors. Pretty ugly recolors too, but you do get the occasional cute color combo here and there. This pink costume for Victor, the postman, is one of the cutest C tiers in the game. Just look at him! He looks like a sweet little Valentine's candy, and he's like pink and strawberry, and he's so cute, but the white eyes are a little tiny bit unsettling. Next up from C tiers are B tiers. They're pretty easy to get, and they change not just the colors of the character, but their clothes and their silhouette. However, these changes are subtle, and these costumes don't have any particle effects or item changes. Here's a Norton B tier next to his regular costume. And now, I'll reduce them to just their silhouettes. See what I mean? There are changes, but it's nothing huge. Smack bang in the middle are A tiers. Now these can be super duper yummy costumes with lovely clothes and even changes to the character's hair, or their eyes, or maybe even their expression. These costumes get their own showroom animations, particle effects, item changes, and they're usually pretty great. Some A tiers are simply sublime, and others are simply simple. They're quite lovely and are decently easy to obtain. S tiers. These are like the bread and butter of IDV. These skins are elite, complicated, gorgeous, chock full of particle effects, filled to the brim with rarity, and stuffed full of lag. Because of the super unique clothes and the effects that the S tier costumes bring with them, some of the older S tiers in the game have been optimized to be of higher quality than before. Some examples would be the Ghost Girl for Emma and Valkyrie for Margie. The glow up is insane. Anywho, these babies are separated into 3 categories. There is limited, time limited, and permanent. Limited S tiers are, well, limited. They usually appear when a character first debuts in the game. They are most commonly found in the horrid gacha system and are very hard to obtain. Once the season is over, that gorgeous costume is gone forever. Gone bye-bye, down the toilet, ascended to heaven, banished to Narnia, kaput, gone. Sometimes a limited S tier can also appear in the shop for a certain amount of time, but because they are purchasable, they are more common. Time-limited S tiers are pretty costumes popped into the shop for a certain amount of time. However, unlike limited S tiers, these guys do actually come back. If an S tier has the golden limited badge on it, it means that skin will not be coming back. But if the S tier in question does not have that badge, it'll probably come back before too long. Some skins are seasonally limited, like Everlasting Flowers for Tracy, who shows up in February for Valentine's Day, or Tea Party for Mike, who just wants to spook you in the scariest weeks of October. And then permanent S tiers are in the shop at all times. They don't leave. Nice! And then SS tiers. They're gorgeous buckets of lag that can cost up to $500. They're just really pretty cash grabs that come with some special animated trailers, profile pictures, frames, emotes, and sometimes even pets. They hype these things up so bad, and then you never actually see people wearing them because they lag out the game too much. But now all that's out of the way, it's back to Jester. But he's just a C tier costume, right? Those things suck. Well, yeah, but he's special! You see, back in the early days of IDV, the logic path would feature C tiers on certain blocks. You would obtain these C tiers once you reached the block they stood on. The logic path we have today just has a nice, juicy, limited A tier once you reach a certain amount of steps, but these C tiers were limited too. Jester specifically is from Season 7. That is a long time ago. July 25th of 2019 is the day he hit the game, available once the player hit block 1258 on the logic path, and once Season 7 ended, he was sucked away with it. This makes this unassuming little C tier a lot rarer than a lot of the cosmetics in the game today, and on top of that, he actually looks super cute. Jester could possibly be returning to the game soon through the Lantern Deals function, which basically gives you a mini gacha aimed at a specific character, containing a bunch of low tier items and a very small chance to get a high tier. Most of the time these are just plain old rip-offs, they suck, but that's enough of that. Let's try and redesign this funky dude. Right away I knew I wanted to include a wintry hollyberry theme to his outfit. Something that reminds you a little bit of his Butler's Cafe outfit from the Christmas Cafe some time ago. Here's an image of that, by the way. The original Jester costume already comes with a beautiful Christmassy colour palette, complete with scarlet, green and gold. There's also a tiny bit of like purplish maroon in there. I'll stick to these colours and do my best to turn it into an outfit of higher quality. He also has this red fuzziness on his face, which is really interesting. The IDV wiki says it's a scar, but some fan art interprets it as like a blush. For this adaptation of the costume, I decided to make it into a scar. Why? Well, the description of his costume seems somewhat melancholy, and I think a scar would maybe add a bit of depth to that description, and to help the viewer create a story behind his outfit. The description reads as follows. Not all the green leaves are willing to set off the red flowers like he used to. Pretty vague, but it's a little eerie, right? I also made it a scar because scars are gorgeous. I gave him a steely, wary face to match with a darker story. How did he even receive that scar? I don't know, that's up to you, but it looks like it hurts really bad. I knew I had to dress him somewhat snugly if he lives in a wintry environment. This factor is inspired by his colours, you know, typical white Christmas, his Butler Cafe outfit. If he lives in the cold, let's make him live in a snowy forest away from everyone else, so there's no haircuts except for the ones he does himself. And he grew his hair out a bit this time. Skins sometimes have a connection with the character's original story, and I like to think that this upgraded version of Jester is supposed to represent the coldness, loneliness, and suffering that Mike experienced after the Hullabaloo Circus burned down. So let's roll with it. I struggled a lot with his wintry clothes. I knew I wanted them to be brown with some lovely warm fleece, like a couple of different shades, and I knew I wanted them to have fur. So I jumped on the internet and actually used pictures of Hiccup and his mother from How to Train Your Dragon as references, along with some other pictures I saw of other character designs. I absolutely loved the cheerful red, green, and gold diamonds in the original skin, so I wanted to carry that over to my redesign. It was beautiful and festive, and it wasn't too busy. Unlike most of Mike's skins, which contain like 4 coloured diamonds and a separating colour, this skin only featured 2 colours in the diamonds and a beautiful shiny gold trim. It was gorgeous! In this adaptation of the outfit, it almost looks like he's wearing the winter clothes over the original outfit, doesn't it? I also popped some earmuffs on his head along with some antlers, and I decided to break one to make him look a little bit edgier. Maybe he broke it in the same accident where he got his scar. I also gave him a bandage on his arm. Poor thing. I gave him some holly leaves in his hair and popped some golden bells, buttons and buckles onto his cozy outfit. In games, these would sparkle. I quickly threw his bombs together again because I forgot again, one being a snowball, another being a bell, and then, yeah, I struggled with the last one. I wanted it to be a ball of bandages at one point so that he could patch himself up if he got hurt. But then there would be 2 white bombs and that wasn't gonna fly, so I coloured them red and green. And it looked stupid, so I ditched them. I redrew it as a little wooden ball with a fancy green ribbon on it, like a toy or something. It looks like a stupid coconut, and it looks stupid, but I'm tired and I can't be bothered to fix it, so that's his emotional support coconut or something. And there we have it, the final design. Am I proud of how it turned out? Yes. Most of the time. Every time I look at this drawing, I feel a different emotion. Did it turn out a little more Christmassy than I hoped? Yes, but who doesn't love a Christmas outfit? Sorry for the super long explanation points from before. I realized from my last video that some of my viewers don't actually play Identity V, and I figured some explanation would be handy for those viewers in particular. Thank you for sitting through this design process video. Hopefully some new characters will be joining us next time. something like, I'd love to try and experiment with 2 A tiers and an S tier, you know, like a fan-made essence, or maybe talk about some existing designs in the game, like that new hunter that came out quite recently. Yeah, there's all this stuff like building up in the brain, and I'd love to get that out somehow, or discuss it with you guys. Thank you for sitting through, and I'll see you next time. Ciao!